What was your I think I'm in trouble for real this time moment as a kid? It was the summer of 1997 and I was 10 years old. My parents had a strict no playing ball in the house rule. One of those rules that seemed to exist solely to limit childhood joy. But on this particular rainy afternoon with nothing to do and nowhere to go, the temptation became too much. My brother Jake was at a friend's house and my parents were running errands. The coast was clear. I grabbed my new baseball, a treasured birthday gift from my grandfather, and began tossing it against the living room wall, catching it with a satisfying smack in my palm. Just for a few minutes, I promised myself. I'll stop before they get home. The gentle tosses gradually evolved into harder throws. Each catch boosted my confidence. I started adding little tricks, pretending I was making spectacular plays like the pros on TV. A diving catch here, a behind-the-back throw there. That's when I heard the car in the driveway. Panic seized me. I made one final desperate throw toward the couch, hoping to hide the evidence. But my aim, previously so accurate, betrayed me at the worst possible moment. The ball sailed wide, directly toward my mother's prized possession, a crystal vase that had belonged to her grandmother. Time slowed. I lunged forward, fingers outstretched, watching helplessly as the ball connected with the vase. The crash was deafening in the quiet house. Shards of crystal scattered across the hardwood floor, catching light from the window in a beautiful, terrible display. The front door opened. "Hello, Michael?" My mother's voice called out. I stood frozen, surrounded by destruction. My mind raced through possible explanations, each more absurd than the last. Maybe I could blame it on a bird that flew in through the window? A sudden earthquake that nobody else felt? My father appeared in the doorway first, grocery bags in hand. His expression shifted from casual to confused to furious in the span of 3 seconds. "What happened here?" he asked, his voice dangerously quiet. My mother stepped in behind him. When she saw the shattered vase, her hand flew to her mouth. "My grandmother's vase," she whispered. That's when I knew. This wasn't like the time I tracked mud on the carpet or broke a drinking glass. This was something irreplaceable. I felt a sickening weight in my stomach as I realized no punishment could undo what I'd done. I was playing ball, I admitted, my voice small. "I'm really sorry." My father's face reddened. "Go to your room. Now." As I trudged upstairs, I heard my mother's soft crying. That sound hurt worse than any yelling could have. Sitting on my bed, I waited for what felt like hours. When my door finally opened, my father entered alone and sat beside me. "Do you understand why we're upset?" he asked. I nodded, tears welling up. "Because I broke Mom's special vase." "Yes, but more than that," he said. "We're upset because you deliberately broke a rule we set for your safety and our home, and now something precious is gone forever." That night, I wrote my mother an apology letter. I offered my birthday money to try to replace the vase, knowing full well that no amount could actually replace it. The next morning, Mom hugged me tightly and said, "Things can be broken, Michael. Trust is harder to fix, but not impossible." My punishment was 2 weeks without TV or friends, plus extra chores. But the real consequence was seeing disappointment in my mother's eyes and knowing I'd caused it. Years later, my mother told me she'd kept my apology letter in her jewelry box. She said that day taught me something about responsibility that no lecture could have.